Hey everyone, Dylan here, and in today's video, I don't know if I'm going to release this video. I'm going to record it in case one day I want to release it, but it is an anime review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2 or Part 3. And the reason why I'm not sure if I want to release this is because of JoJo fanboys, because if someone is like a mega fan about an anime, they will like ruin your life if you don't like it or if you have something bad to say about it. And I am going to say some very bad things about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2, Part 3. Because that I'm just going to tell it how I feel. And so I'm not sure if I want to deal with the hassle of it, but I still might upload this. I'm not sure, but I do know in case I do want to upload it later, I need to record it now because I just kind of like the other day finished JoJo, like I finished the season 2, so I want it fresh in my mind. But I'll throw out a couple disclaimers. One, this is just my opinion. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2 with like Jotaro and all that, and you just love it and you like watching, that is fine. I don't care. That's fine. You can enjoy it. I'm not trying to ruin it for you. I'm not saying you can't like it. This is just my opinion. You can like it all day long, and that is fine. Secondly, yes, I have to make this disclaimer probably every anime review. I didn't see this with sight, so maybe the fights were even better when you can visually see it. So that is kind of my disclaimer there. Maybe they're better that way, and that's kind of what I want to say. So don't be too butthurt about it, you know. I'm just giving my opinion on how I feel. You can like it, and that is fine. But this is just how I felt. And so the first thing I'll start off with this review is, if you don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2, Part 3 takes place after Part 2, of course. When I say it takes place, it has nothing to do with Part 2, really. It has kind of somewhat to do with Part 1 because a villain comes back. And what happens basically is Joseph is from Part 2, and now he's an old man in Part 3. And he has to go with his grandson to find the character Dio, who was a villain 100 years ago. He's a vampire, and he's came back. And because he came back, there's these powers called stands, which is like of one's like willpower and like a part of them and all this. And because Dio stole Jonathan's body, which is their like, which is Joseph's grandfather. He was in Part 1, and that was like 100 years ago. Dio stole his body, like, because he's a vampire. He put his head on his body, and because of that, it activated things. And Joseph's daughter, Holly, is a Joestar, and because of that, it ended up awakening her stand, and because of that, she doesn't have the willpower to control it or use it. And so if Dio is not killed, it will end up killing her. So they have like maybe like 50-ish days to go through different countries, battling through different stand battles to hopefully kill Dio and save Holly. And that is kind of the premise of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Season 2. And so it has 48 episodes. It's like longer than both. So in Season 1, for some weird reason, they put Part 2, or Part 1 and Part 2 in just Season 1. They put them together. So Part 1 in Season 1 has just 10 episodes, and Part 2 gets 16, totaling 26 episodes. It's really weird. I don't know why they didn't just split them in their own seasons. But that's kind of how it goes. So like Part 3 has way more episodes, which I honestly don't agree with that, but we'll get into it. There's other characters that travel along with him to hopefully help, and there's these stand battles that happen, and if you're not a stand user yourself, you can't see stands, so normal people can't see them. And I might go all over the place with this, but I'm going to be honest. The only thing that this show has is the stand battles. That is it. And most of them I didn't even really like. A lot of it, over half of the fights, pretty much, or a lot of them anyways, It's just Jotaro saving the day and beating the bad guy because the others couldn't. That's what a lot of the fights are. Now, some of the characters do win other fights and stuff, and that does happen, but a lot of them is just Jotaro winning. And I will say the moments that were most enjoyable for me were when Jotaro was being a badass and he did some cool fights, but that's it for me. That's the only time I enjoyed the show. And even when he did fight some of the stands I thought were really stupid, and I didn't like them. And I didn't think the battles were very good or very interesting. And I didn't even think the villains they fought were interesting either. I had to slog through JoJo, and I just, when you have to push yourself to watch something, that means you just really don't enjoy it. And the reason why I just pushed through it, because it's well, my girlfriend loved part 3 and Jotaro, and everyone says it's the best part, and everyone loves it and puts it on a pedestal, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna watch it. So I can actually give a real opinion on it than someone just saying, oh, well, you just hate it because it's popular. But no, I actually watched all 48 episodes, and it was a slog, and I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't care. Part 3 with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2 of Jotaro, it's overrated. It is way overrated. People put it too high on a pedestal. It's fine if you really love it. That's fine, but it was just way overhyped. And I had higher expectations for it, and maybe that's partially my fault from what everyone was doing to me. But I think it's just overrated. A lot of the fights are just meh. The final fight, I like the final fight, but the way it happens is boring. It's kind of lazy in my opinion. I'm trying not to spoil things, but the final fight, how they saw was just oh man, I'll beat you with the same power, and it's just really, that's the best you got? They kind of put themselves into a corner with the power that the final villain has, So I guess that was the only way to beat him, but it's kind of stupid and lazy in my opinion, and I didn't like that at all. The fight was still cool, and there's some other things. The way they treat characters' deaths in this is just, there's 2 that they didn't put any effort into it. Just, snapped, dead, and there was just not much emotion behind it. One of them I felt a little sad for, but 2 of them, I'm just I don't care. I can't feel anything. It really irritated me. And then another one that probably should have been even more better. They didn't it was they didn't put that much into it where they should have. I don't know. It was just really disappointing. And then a character that should have died didn't at in the thing, and he did die. He was dead. And then somehow they brought him back to life. And it doesn't make any real sense, and it's really dumb. And there's just so many things that frustrated me about JoJo. Part 3. I just kept going through it, and I'm like, man, surely this will get better eventually, right? And like I said, there were a couple good stand fights that I liked, but there's probably 5 or less stand fights that I liked. Probably 5 or less. That's about it in 48 episodes. And let me get on to 48 episodes. There are too many episodes to this show. Why is it that season 1, part 1 and part 2 only got 16 episodes? By the way, part 2 is my favorite out of all 3 parts. I haven't seen part 4, and I'm probably not going to because I'm tired of it, and I don't know, it's probably not any better, to be honest. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but I don't know. That one's up in the air, but I haven't seen it. But I have seen part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 2 is my favorite. I loved part 2. I really enjoyed it. Part 1 was it is alright. But maybe if it got the treatment that part 3 got, part 1 could have got more episodes instead of just 10. And then part 2 could have got more episodes than just 16 and made them better. Because it's if you're going to have 48 episodes, I should love the characters by then, and I didn't. I didn't really love any of them. I was disappointed by old Joseph. There was a character that I was really annoying, which I know he's supposed to be annoying, but I hate him. And then one character was okay, another one was okay, and then Jotaro, which everyone loves, for some weird reason. I don't know why everyone just loves Jotaro so freaking much. Like, he's okay, and he's cool sometimes, but that's it. He's just okay. He's not amazing. Like he's all right, but he's not like as amazing as people like put him on a pedestal, in my opinion. But like, you can love him if you want, that's fine. But that's just my opinion on it. And so I think they had too many episodes, and they didn't utilize them as well as they could have. And like I said, after being with characters for 48 episodes, I should care more about them, but I didn't. And so I just think it was too long. They did not need, at best, they should have wrapped it up in 24. Because, I mean, part 2 got like 16 and still was able to do a decent job. So they could have probably did 24 and got away with it and made it better and just did it that way. I don't think they deserved 48 episodes. So that's kind of my gripe about it. I know I'm going to get hate if any like big JoJo fanboy sees this, or if I end up uploading it. My girlfriend says I shouldn't, but this is just things that I feel about it, and just some things that you think are going to matter, they really don't, and it's just disappointing. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, to me, Part 3, Season 2, was just a disappointment. It was disappointing. It was too long, and it's overrated in my opinion. But if you love it, like I said, if you love it, and that's fine. You can love it, and that's okay. I'm not shaming you for it. Maybe it was more for you. Maybe because you saw the fights visually, you enjoyed it more. That could be it too. I don't think that would change my opinion that much, to be honest. Maybe I would like it a little bit more if I saw the actual visuals, but it probably wouldn't change my mind on the other points that don't have much to do with the visuals, to be really honest. But that kind of has been my rant/review. If you want to watch Part 3, you know, you can. Maybe you'll find more enjoyment out of it than I did. It was all right. Like, I don't know. It was just, I'm glad to be done with it. I'm glad to be done watching it. I had to force myself, and so yeah, just overhyped from everyone that like talked about it, and my girlfriend talking about it, and I just had higher expectations for it, and so there's a bunch of things. But yeah, maybe one day I'll go back and watch Part 2 and Part 1 and give reviews on those. But I haven't seen them for a while, so they're not really fresh in my mind. But maybe at some point I'll review those. But yeah, that's kind of been my anime review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2, Part 3, all 48 episodes. Sorry if I ranted about it and anything, but let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Season 2? Do you like it? Do you think it's better than what I'm saying it is? Do you love it? Like, that's fine if you do. I'd be interested to hear your opinion, or if you have like anything you want to talk about. Or do you agree that it's overrated and like overhyped? Do you have that same opinion as I do? Because I'd be really interested to know about it and hear it. But yeah, anyways, please people, don't eat me alive. This is just my opinion, like I said, and everyone's allowed to have one. I'm not shaming you for yours if you love it, but yeah. Anyways, that has been it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys in the next video.